The country's first African-American housing project is right here in Austin. Find out why it's turning to rubble.
Trees damaged by last month's winter storm left Austin parks a mess. We'll show you how volunteers are making a difference.
And how a local shelter plans to house 126 puppies in just 10 days. Reporting Texas TV starts now.
Good evening, I'm Vio Dorantes.
And I'm Christina Folsom.
Some big changes are coming to a historic public housing complex in East Austin.
Rosewood Courts was the first African-American housing project built in the United States. Reporting Texas TV's Thea Warner is live in the newsroom with more on why that property is being torn down.
With soaring housing costs, Austin is in constant need of more affordable housing. For one East Austin community, the demolition of an aging public housing complex could be the answer.
Today, bulldozers dig where a playground once stood inside Rosewood Courts for over 80 years. John Yeager, who works across the street, tells me the complex was important to many families.
Austin is constantly growing in that, but there is a heritage that needs to be either maintained or at least saved somehow so that people can know what it was like before.
Built in 1939 during a time of segregation, Rosewood Courts became the first African-American housing project in the United States. In recent years, the aging property has deteriorated beyond simple repairs.
Basically, brick construction, no insulation, no central air, no central heat, and very, very little accessibility for persons with mobility issues.
The Housing Authority for the City of Austin, also known as HACA, has initiated a plan that will build new affordable housing on the site while preserving some of its history.
You know, we felt we needed to do better by our families, and our families wanted better and deserved better.
The redevelopment plan includes the construction of 3 new 4-story buildings as well as the restoration of 8 existing buildings. This will add 60 units to the original 124. The plan also includes a welcome center where visitors can learn more about the history of Rosewood.
One of the things that's important to understand about public housing redevelopment in the United States is that it has really varied a great deal from place to place.
While combining preservation with development is unusual, HACA believes it's important the site's history is not forgotten.
I mean, you walk by it, you drive by it, and you just don't even know the story. And so we're finally going to be able to do that.
HACA is hopeful the project will be completed in late 2024. They have also provided moving and relocation expenses for former residents, who will have the first right to return when the property reopens.
Some Texas agricultural customers could be without water until 2024. In a recent decision, the Lower Colorado River Authority elected to cut off water from the Highland Lakes to 3 counties southeast of Austin. The LCRA says existing drought conditions and the growing demand for water in the central Texas area is the cause. With this water interruption, many Texas farmers are now facing an even tougher operating year.
It's not a surprise to anybody that's involved that when March the 1st rolls around or July the 1st rolls around and those extraordinary drought conditions exist, that we're either going to have to greatly limit or completely cut off that water supply.
LCRA is encouraging Central Texans to buy native plants.
This past weekend, hundreds of people traveled to the state capitol to protest against Operation Lone Star. The operation is meant to stop illegal immigration and drug trafficking at the Texas-Mexico border, though critics say it is a part of a political agenda set by Texas Governor Greg Abbott to separate families at the border at the expense of taxpayers.
Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick says school choice is topping his priority list this legislative session. He wants to create an education savings account program where a percentage of state public school funds go to private schools. The idea behind it is to give parents more control over their children's education.
We should not leave here this year until we pass school choice. I don't care how many special sessions it takes.
Advocates for public education worry that reducing public school funds will negatively impact students. The Texas legislative session ends May 29th.
Businesses are gearing up for a busy few weeks as 3 of the city's largest events come to town this month. Southwest, Dell Match Play, and Rodeo Austin are all projected to bring in between $400 and $500 million by the end of the month. Officials say this boom will come from tourist spending all over the city.
So many different aspects. These events affect our community. They stay in our hotels, they eat in the restaurants, they support small businesses, they're going out and doing tours.
Almost 2 million passengers traveled through Austin last March. This year, officials are expecting even more. The festival kicks off tomorrow, but they're getting pushback on how much they pay musicians. A petition was filed by the Union of Musicians and Allied Workers is demanding fair pay. South by pays bands $250 and solo artists $100. Performers can also choose event wristbands instead of a paycheck. South by will look into payment changes after this month's events.
There's a new student body president and vice president here at UT. The results were announced Monday.
Annabella Cooper is here in the studio to tell us about how the candidates campaigned on campus.
Thank you, Christina. The newly elected president shared that she used her personal experiences at the university to create new policies. Before she was elected, there was a lot of on-campus activity that led to the results.
For 2 weeks, 8 candidates campaigned for president and vice president of student government to implement change.
I think student gov is important because they're the voice for the students, and a lot of the times when we do have issues or concerns, we need people to be a liaison between us and the administrations.
Candidates have been active on social media, tabling on Speedway, and created policies that represent their goals.
One thing I was super impressed by all the candidates and campaigns this year was everyone had some form of experience. They all came in with really well researched platforms, and everyone had very interesting and unique ideas.
George Bose and Ana Fuentes spent 10 to 15 hours a week working on their campaign. They created their 7-pillar policies based on their own personal experiences on the 40 acres.
There has just been a lack of want to facilitate that open communication and dialogue, and there's been a lack of want to open up all of these spaces to students outside of the LSO space, and so I think that's really the main reason why we decided to run.
UT students voted online on Monday, February 27th and Tuesday, the 28th. This week, the candidates learned that the newly elected president is Helen Getachew and Vice President William Ramirez.
Getachew and Ramirez say they'll focus on community, accessibility, and health.
Their new roles start April 4th, but transition meetings with the 2022 representatives have started this week. To learn more about the new student leadership team, visit reportingtexas.com.
UT students, if you get a parking ticket on campus, get this, there's a way you can pay without using money. UT's Food for Fines program is offering a soup to citation trade-in deal. To qualify, cans must be at least 10 ounces and a minimum of 5 must be donated. There's one catch though, students can only pay off 1 ticket. From March 6th through March 24th, students can donate. All cans will be donated to UT Outpost, which provides free food to students. Coming up next, how UT Austin's Girl Day is empowering the next generation of female STEM leaders.
With spring break right around the corner, something new is coming to 6th Street tonight. Details after the break.
Wash hands now. Wash hands now. Wash hands now. Wash hands now. Hand washing is one of the best ways to stay healthy all year long.
So how's civilian life treating you?
It's fine.
When I got out, I didn't want to admit that there was anything wrong because I felt like a failure. Maybe you are fine, but if you're not, it's okay.
Thank you.
Veterans find resources at va.gov/reach.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving.
I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew a girl so smart, so responsible, she must be a keeper.
Motorcycles are not invisible, but they can seem that way to drivers who aren't paying close attention. Look twice for motorcycles. There's a life riding on it.
Hermanos y hermanas, no tiren basura, Texas no la quieren, dame esa basura. Don't mess with Texas. Dámelo a mí, carretera para ti, basura para mí. Limpia carretera, limpia la ciudad. Don't mess with Texas. No importa dónde estás.
The number of women pursuing engineering degrees at UT is going up. Ivy Fowler is here in studio to tell us how the Women in STEM, or We STEM program, continues to close the gender gap.
That's right, Christina. This event started as Introduce a Girl to Engineering Day in 2002 with about 95 participants. Needless to say, it's grown tremendously since then, and every year it continues to inspire more and more young girls to seek out futures in STEM.
Emily Wynn wasn't sure what she wanted to be when she grew up.
I was kind of debating between education and medicine. The support and the resources they offered here at UT, that's when I knew for sure that that's some type of field I want to get into, and I'm kind of interested in doing STEM things.
As a high school sophomore, Emily went to UT's STEM outreach event Girl Day for the first time. When she was asked to volunteer this year, the third-year health and society major knew she had to do it.
Because when I went to Girls Day, I was like, whoa, these people are so smart, really cool. Getting to see how their reactions were similar to mine was really cool to see that.
An added bonus, her little sister got to participate too. UT STEM Girl Day is the largest event of its kind, and this year hosted over 9,000 K through 8th grade students.
With over 150 hands-on demonstrations, even I learned a thing or two. Like how physical chemistry
is the science where you get to blow things up.
We STEM hosted Girl Day this year. Their goal? To create an inspired and diverse community of confident STEM leaders.
We'd love to, of course, have all of those Girl Day girls that come and experience STEM here on campus show up at UT Austin and study these STEM majors down the road.
UT's goal with events like this is creating an inclusive and diverse campus space.
I got to see a lot more people of color here, and back when I went, we didn't really see much of that. Knowing that there's like this support and this movement of trying to like have more women in STEM as well, I think is very empowering, especially for the next generation.
Last semester, about a third of UT undergrad engineers were women, which is up from 2021, so we're definitely seeing progress in closing the gap. You can check out next year's Girl Day on February 24th.
Prevention advocates are teaming up to discourage drinking and driving this spring break.
The Texas Department of Transportation and UT student organization, You in the Driver's Seat, will have a tent set up on 6th Street tonight. From 9 p.m. until midnight, people will be able to interact with a drunk driving simulator and play interactive games. The display will also offer Uber ride shares.
We really hope that by hearing from other young people, from hearing from their peers, that the message will be more resounding.
Last year during spring break, 31 people died from alcohol-related crashes across the state. Texas DOT is creating the display as part of the hashtag #EndTheStreak campaign. A local Girl Scout troop was robbed at a Randall's off of Ben White Boulevard in South Austin last week. The incident was grab and go, and the girls were not hurt. The store is giving the Austin Police Department surveillance video to help with their investigation. Thousands of volunteers gathered to clean up downed trees in Austin parks.
The ice storm from last month left a mess. On Saturday, volunteers helped clean up during the annual It's My Park Day. They helped spread mulch and saw trees down. The A&M Forest Service says 10 million trees in Austin were damaged from the storm.
Coming up, spring break starts this weekend. All you need to know about the weather we're expecting.
And coming up in sports, how Texas women's basketball team took home the title of Big 12 champs.
You budget, you pay bills,
men to live in poverty in retirement.
So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to save ourselves by setting a goal to save 2% more of our income for our retirement.
Why 2?
1% honors you.
And 1% honors all womankind.
So come on, learn more about the 2% challenge at WeSaySaveIt.org.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how, and we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids need to know the dangers and how to avoid them. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids, because when you talk, they hear you.
My name is Charles Taway.
I'm Tommy Anderson.
My name is Siobhan DeBar.
I have a sense of pride that I was given the opportunity to serve in the United States military.
I assist veterans today on a daily basis, bringing them back into society, finding jobs, and just feeling welcome again.
Aviation was my soul, and artillery became my heart.
I've had friends of mine, veterans, who have died from gun suicide, and it's preventable.
I think it is paramount that if you own a gun, you should store it safely. I'm a true believer in service never stops.
Locking up your firearm and your weapon as a veteran is the sensible thing to do.
The number one thing we do is safety. We stress safety all the time, and it's something that's ingrained in us from the military.
Safely store your weapon, protect yourself and those around you. My service never stops.
Our service never stops.
And for me, part of that service is storing your guns safely.
Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
As usual, the weather seems to be hot and humid. It's Texas. There's only blazing hot or like really cold. I guess like what could we expect for spring break?
Yeah, that's certainly true. Well, we've got heat today, so as it seems, winter's certainly over by this point, but those partly cloudy skies that we've been seeing today are going to keep things humid. Right now we're at about 66% humidity right now, but if we're looking out over campus, we've got plenty of sun for today. It's nice and hot, but a bit of wind seems to be in the area. Enjoy it while you can though, because we'll be seeing cloudy skies coming in later, and it might start to carry, and I would start to carry an umbrella if you're going out tonight. The chances of thunderstorms seem to be increasing as the night goes on and continue into tomorrow morning. But tonight, expect some clouds to roll in with a chance of scattered storms hitting the area in the late evening. We'll still be in the low 70s, and temperature-wise, it's not going to cool down that much. But with those possible showers in the late evening, they might carry over into tomorrow morning with about a 50% chance. The morning will cool down and we'll see a low in the 50s. Friday afternoon and evening, we'll have a chance of scattered showers also, so that umbrella for tonight will be perfect for tomorrow as well. Now, over the week, we'll be getting partly cloudy skies just about every single day. We've got it on Saturday, we've got it on Sunday, and on Monday. And Tuesday is the only projected sunny day ahead. Temperatures could drop as low as the high 40s over the next week, but will mostly stay in the high 60s and 70s range. Spring breakers and South by Southwest goers, I really wish I had better weather for you, but like I said, Tuesday is that sunny day you're looking forward to, so just go out and enjoy it.
Well, where are you going for spring break, Dan?
You know, I'm headed to more sunny skies, I think, with Phoenix, so that should be a good time for me.
That'd be nice. I'm going up to Dallas to visit some family, but I don't think the weather's going to be that different than it is from here. But if you are going somewhere in Texas where there are sunnier skies, be on the lookout for bluebonnets. Coming up, last year's drought may have been a good thing if you like looking at flowers. Stay tuned to find out why.
Coming up in sports, big names are leaving the Texas football program. Stay tuned to find out who is in the running for next season's quarterback.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
I told him I didn't want to go out with him. The threats did turn to violence. He had a gun.
My name is Jaden.
I'm Zoe. My name is Skylar.
My name is Amaya.
My name is Brett.
And I'm proud to be
a teen ambassador of hope.
And I am proud to be a teen ambassador of hope.
If he asks for all your passwords and your location and says he's gonna kill himself if you break up with him, that's not healthy.
People will wear long sleeve clothes, clothes that don't show them their body just so they can hide bruises.
They were harassed on Snapchat by someone they didn't know, and they were just kind of bullying them based on different things they had heard from other people.
Texas Advocacy Project told me about a protective order and how it could keep me and everyone I loved safe.
You are not alone.
You are not alone.
You are not alone.
You are not alone.
I will tell a friend of mine that Texas Advocacy Project did save my life.
Welcome back. I'm Ethan Ferguson with your sports update. Texas women's basketball is officially Big 12 champions, winning their first regular season conference title since 2004. With an 80-52 win against Kansas State, the Longhorns finished their regular season with an in-conference record of 14-4. Big 12 Coach of the Year Vic Schaefer had this to say following the championship win.
To see them come out today with so much focus, knowing what was on the line, and man, they just played so well. I couldn't have been more proud of them.
Having earned the #1 seed, the women's team will look to start their Big 12 tournament on the right foot with a matchup against the winner of tonight's game between Kansas State and Texas Tech. Falling just short of a Big 12 championship themselves, the men's team was able to earn a first-round bye with the 2 seed in this year's Big 12 tournament. With Oklahoma State winning in the first round of the tournament, the Longhorns will face the Cowboys today at 6 o'clock in Kansas City, with the goal of reclaiming the Big 12 Conference. And with March Madness looming in the near future, Texas will need big performances on all areas of the court. As for Texas baseball, they started a 14-game homestand this week with back-to-back games against Sam Houston State and Mercer. Peyton Powell led the Longhorns going 3 for 4 in a 7-5 victory against Sam Houston, while catcher Ryan Galvin led the Longhorns in an 11-3 victory over Mercer with 4 RBIs. Currently 6-7, the Longhorns will start conference play against Texas Tech at the end of March. And with some big names leaving the Texas football program this offseason for the NFL, including projected first-round pick Bijan Robinson and 4 others, the Longhorns will have some shoes to fill. Spring ball is officially underway after the team's first practice earlier this week. The question on everyone's mind, who's going to start a quarterback next season? Here's what head coach Steve Sarkisian had to say about the ongoing battle between Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning.
It's like anything. Quinn has an entire year of a head start, but I don't want to hold Arch back. I want to see how far he can take this thing and what it can look like.
Practices will continue for the Longhorns this spring, leading up to the orange and white scrimmage on April 15th at DKR. I mean, what an exciting time it is for Texas basketball, both men's and women's teams right now.
Yeah, I agree. I've really enjoyed watching the games. I guess, what are they doing to prepare for the Big 12 tournament?
Well, Vio, on the women's side, they're going to probably roll off of that Big 12 championship. We'll find out tonight who they're going to be playing against, whether it's Kansas State or Texas Tech. And then on the men's side, I expect them to get some revenge, losing the Big 12 championship to Kansas. I'm expecting big performances from both teams.
Awesome.
Thank you, Ethan. Coming up, hip-hop fans, you're going to want to stay tuned to hear about the Museum of Graffiti's new exhibition.
And how Austin Pets Alive is making it easier for you to bring home a new furry friend this month.
Today, we face an unprecedented crisis. Tens of millions of refugees have been forced from their homes. But you can make a difference. Turn disruption and despair to hope and opportunity. Even small amounts make a big difference. Provide shelter, support, or jobs in your community. The more we understand, the greater sense of belonging we create. Act now. Visit supportcrisisrelief.org.
Is it time yet?
It's time.
Put a stone time for dinner.
Oh, it's really
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Vaccines protect us all from serious disease, and I ask that you consider getting your family and your children vaccinated.
The COVID vaccines, including the updated booster doses, are safe, effective, and recommended for everyone 6 months and older.
It's an important way to protect our families, our healthcare workers, and our communities.
COVID patients are still in our hospitals, and many are very sick.
If you have questions, talk with your healthcare professional.
And if you haven't gotten vaccinated or boosted, please do.
How about we try that again?
Mr. Rhodes!
Here's to keep you safe on these roads.
What did I do wrong?
2 words. Crosswalk.
Oh.
Whoa! But first, say hello to my little friend.
The walk signal?
The crosswalk. The signal. Look left, look right, look left. Doesn't it look good in stripes? Yeah.
The bluebonnet is making an early appearance this year. Experts at the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center predict an especially lush spring from the state flower. The reason? Last summer's drought caused the grass to die. The result? More space for the Texas wildflower to grow. Expect to see more blooms of blue mid-March as temperatures continue to warm.
Austin Pets Alive is looking for homes for 126 dogs during their Mutt Madness program. The program runs until March 13th and is waiving all adoption fees for puppies aged 6 months and younger. Spay and neuter surgery deposits still apply. Head to APA's Town Lake location from noon to 6 p.m. to have a matchmaker pair you with a furry friend in need of a home.
Cute pups aren't the only things making their mark in Austin. Hip-hop is taking a new stage in the live music capital. The Museum of Graffiti announced the opening of its newest exhibition in Austin, titled The Art of Hip-Hop. The pop-up will celebrate 50 years of hip-hop with concerts, classes, and exhibits highlighting decades of the genre.
We focus on the 5 elements. You get the graffiti artists, you get to see wonderful paintings from artists dating back to the 1970s. You get photography documenting the early youth that were out playing in the streets and sort of creating this movement with DJs and MCs.
The exhibition is set to be open from March 10th through March 28th in downtown Austin and will also include work created by local graffiti artists.
Thanks for joining us tonight on Reporting Texas TV.
If you would like to check out any of our stories or our newscasts, please visit reportingtexas.com. We'll see you after spring break. Good night.